Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday Circle die set, which is a die set that I designed for Simon Says Stamps Stamptember release. This set of dies is kind of cool because it has an outside circle and then an interior piece. And if you want to keep those intact and use them together, you can definitely cut them out together. But I'm only going to be using the interior piece today. So I just used some snips to cut those apart. I'm going to use some Ken Oliver Stick It adhesive to make sure I adhere this very intricate die after it's been cut. Cutting that Stick It sheet to be just slightly larger than the circle die that I'm going to use. And then I'll take that Stick It adhesive and put it down onto some Neenah Solar White cardstock. This is 80-pound cardstock. And this particular adhesive is great for die cutting because it's super thin and it doesn't present any problems when it comes to actually cutting through the paper. It's super thin and there shouldn't be any problems. So because I need to have that Stick It on the underside of that cardstock while I'm die cutting this, I wasn't able to see exactly where it was placed. So I'm holding up my cardstock to my light here that's over to the side, and I can see through enough that I can see where that adhesive sheet was placed. Then I placed it down onto my Big Shot machine and ran that through. It cut beautifully, didn't have any problems at all. I'm going to set this aside while I work on some ink blending that's going to go behind the die cut. Have some cardstock here that's cut to just slightly larger than that circle die, and I'm going to be using some colors of Distress ink. These colors are the same exact colors that I used in a card that I made with some Paper Smooches stamps not too long ago. So if you want to see that ink blending card, I'll put that link up in the top corner and you can check that out. The first color I'm using is Squeeze Lemonade, and this yellow can really be overpowered by the other colors, so I'm actually bringing it about halfway in because as I add this ripe persimmon over the top, it really will blend out that yellow, and I just want a peak of yellow coming in from the bottom of the circle. Not a whole lot, but enough, and so I needed to make sure that that yellow was coming all the way in. So I'm just going to continue to ink blend using the ripe persimmon, and then I'll be moving on to picked raspberry. I'll bring this in over the top of that orange. And the thing you have to remember when you're blending with inks, distress inks or any other type of inks, is you really want to make sure your colors are overlapping. So even though you know that that pink color is only going to be in a small portion, go ahead and blend it beyond that area because you know you're going to need a little bit of extra space to get all those colors blended. So then I moved on to Chipped Sapphire, and this is a nice purpley blue color. Whenever I use it, it always tends to look a little slightly more violet to me, just because it is such a dark, intense blue, and it's perfect to blend into picked raspberry. So I'm using a little bit of scratch paper just off to the side so I can hold down that paper without the ink coming off on my fingertips, and this is just going to make it so it's a little bit easier to keep my hands clean since the bulk of this card is going to be just straight white cardstock. Going back to that picked raspberry and blending out that color once again, just to make sure that all those colors are blended nicely. Use that circle die just to make sure I filled in the space enough. And now I'm removing that die and poking out the interior pieces. And you'll notice that they come out super easy. I didn't have any problem at all. And then I'm going to peel up that backing sheet on the Stick It adhesive. I want to be careful as you remove it over this, over the word area, just because those are pretty intricate and they're not attached vertically, they're just attached on each side of the word. So that center area, there isn't anything at all holding them together. So you have to be careful as you remove the backing right there. Using some tweezers just to hold some of the loops back so I have enough pressure to pull off that backing. Now I have a piece of acetate. This is just some window plastic from Lifestyle Crafts. Cut it down to be slightly larger than that circle die cut. And I'll just place that down over the top and then use my fingertips to really press down so that the adhesive adheres to that clear plastic window. So after I have that all figured out, I'm just going to make sure that the dot on the eye is also there. And I'm going to build the actual shaker mechanism for my shaker card. So this is a really cool idea that I got from Nicole McGorrick. When you pull off your long strip of foam adhesive, go ahead and double it up right away because you're going to need to double it anyway for to make the shaker. So go ahead and double it up, and then you can use your scissors to cut smaller portions, just to cut little snips. And I actually ended up cutting these down the center to make them more narrow as well, just because I needed a little less adhesive on the sides because it was so close to the edge of the cardstock. So I'm going around and I'm building this barrier all the way around the circle area of this die cut window. This is going to contain all of the shaker bits that I put inside. So I'm going around and I'm pressing the edges of each foam adhesive up to the other ones to make sure there aren't any gaps as I apply this foam adhesive. And also when I did this, I realized I needed to add the foam adhesive to the other areas around this so that when I put it on the card that it stands up flat. So I'll go ahead and remove the backing on all of these. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my sequins. I'm using this set of lily white sequins from Lucy Abrams. She has her shop called Lucy's Cards, and she puts together these amazing little collections of shaker bits for your shaker cards, or just sequins you could use on anything. And they're really beautiful. She has a rainbow of colors, lots of assorted different packs, and this is just the lily white collection or pack. I thought it was really pretty because it has a little bit of a purple tinge to it, so it brings out that purple. Taking my blended piece and putting that right over the top, pressing down with my fingertips around that circle area to want to make sure that everything is adhered down and no little sequins are going to come flying out when I turn this over. So here we go. I think in hindsight I may have put slightly less sequins in here, but it's still not too bad. My card base today is made out of 100-pound Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. Scored that at 5.5 to create a top folding card. And then I added some Tombow Extreme adhesive just over the back of that blended area. Pressing that down onto the card front, and that finishes the card for today. Lots and lots of white space. When you're doing cards like this that have lots of white, make sure your hands are clean throughout the entire process, and you just want to make sure that you don't get any stray ink smudges on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's card. I will be back on Wednesday for another card video. Until then, thanks for watching. Once again, thanks for checking out today's video. On screen are my 3 most recent card videos if you want to click on them. You can visit me at my blog at kwarnerdesign.com, and you can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.